60 miles per hour winds and quarter-size hail are on the table for Valentine's Day from Houston to New Orleans. And the Storm Prediction Center just upgraded this to a slight risk for severe weather. Mrs. Patricia, a 67-year-old retired teacher in Houston, spent 18 hours trapped on her second floor last Valentine's Day as floodwaters filled her living room. And she called me yesterday to say this storm looks just as dangerous. Southern Texas could see lows near 70 degrees tomorrow morning, while Fairbanks, Alaska sits at 13 below zero. That's an 83-degree temperature swing across this country, and all that warmth is fuel for these storms. And here's what just got worse. Isolated tornadoes are not out of the question overnight Saturday into Sunday, especially in southeast Texas and Louisiana when people are sleeping. All right, folks, we're tracking two main storm systems over the next 7 to 10 days, and the first one is going to be a Valentine's Day nightmare for parts of the South. Think of it like a 1-2 punch. The warmth and moisture come first, bringing floods and severe storms. Then the cold air follows up with feet of snow in the western mountains. Now let me walk you through the setup, because we've got an upper-level low over New Mexico right now, and it's about to get going as we head into this afternoon and tonight. This system is going to traverse from west to east across the southern tier, and by tomorrow, Valentine's Day, it's going to be a heavy rainmaker for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And here's what really matters. This system has plentiful moisture from both the East Pacific and the Gulf. We're talking 200 to 300% of normal precipitable water rates. The atmosphere is going to squeeze it out like a sponge. And that's going to produce very heavy rainfall not just tomorrow, but through Sunday as this system moves into the southeast. Now remember Mrs. Patricia. I mentioned at the start she told me she's already moved her photo albums and important documents to the second floor. She's not taking any chances this year. That's exactly the kind of preparation everyone in the flood zone should be doing right now, because we've already lost over 100 people from winter storms this season. Now let me show you the severe weather timeline, because tonight we've got a marginal risk extending from Wichita down through Oklahoma City, Elk City, into West Texas. This includes Midland, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and El Paso. You guys are in the severe weather threat zone this evening, with storms intensifying over the next few hours. Then tomorrow, Valentine's Day itself. Things shift east towards I-35, and we've got that upgraded slight risk looking more promising for Houston, Beaumont, and Tyler. This extends into Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and even New Orleans, so if you've got Valentine's Day dinner reservations outdoors, you might want to move them inside. I'm going to make a bold call here. I think we see some supercells with large hail, possibly quarter size or larger, and damaging winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour across the slight risk zone. The atmosphere will be rotating, and you can't rule out a couple of isolated tornadoes, especially in southeast Texas down into Louisiana in the overnight hours. That overnight timing is what concerns me most, because when storms roll through at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, people don't hear the warnings, and that's when we see the worst outcomes. Now, the marginal risk on Sunday shifts further east along the Gulf Coast toward Florida, including Mobile, Montgomery, Panama City, Tallahassee, and even Jacksonville. By Monday, this system will be shifting off the southeast coast, but not before it dumps significant rainfall across Georgia and the Carolinas. All right, let me give you the rainfall breakdown, because we're looking at 2 to 3 inches in the red zones, with the highest amounts in northeast Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And then lighter amounts of 1 to 2 inches as you swing further into the southeast, but that's still enough to cause flooding on already saturated ground. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your city in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Your real-time reports help everyone in the community stay safe. All right, let's get into the city-by-city breakdown, starting with the severe weather zones, because that's where the danger is this Valentine's Day weekend. Houston at 74 degrees with 75% chance of rain and thunderstorms. You're right in that slight risk zone where Mrs. Patricia lives, and storms are firing up tomorrow afternoon into evening. And here's the wild part. Your low temperature tomorrow morning is going to be around 65 degrees. That's warmer than most cities' highs across the northern half of the country right now. Dallas at 66 degrees with 87% chance of rain. This is going to be a soaker, folks, and Dallas hasn't seen Valentine's Day rain like this since 2019. Avoid those low-lying roads. Have your indoor backup plans ready. And if you're proposing tonight, maybe do it before the storms roll in. Austin at 72 degrees with 75% chance. San Antonio at 74 degrees with 45% chance. The rain chances drop as you go south, but storms are still possible through the evening. Oklahoma City at 66 degrees with 85% chance of heavy rain. You're right in the bullseye of this system with rain already falling as we speak. Tulsa at 62 degrees with 80% chance and rainy conditions right now. The storms are training over the same areas repeatedly, which raises the flooding risk significantly. And folks, I've been getting messages all day from people across Texas and Oklahoma asking about this storm. I hear you. And that's exactly why I'm being so thorough with these forecasts. Little Rock at 68 degrees with 75% chance of rain. Shreveport at 68 degrees with 45% chance. You're both in that marginal risk zone for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Kansas City at 53 degrees with 82% chance. St. Louis at 52 degrees with 75% chance. The Midwest is going to be dealing with this system as it pushes northeast through Sunday. Now let's shift to Louisiana and Mississippi, because this is where severe weather pushes through Saturday night into Sunday morning, and the overnight timing has me worried. New Orleans at 73 degrees with 20% chance. Baton Rouge at 70 degrees with 25% chance. You're on the lower end probability-wise, but severe storms are still possible late Saturday night. Jackson, Mississippi at 71 degrees with 20% chance. The severe threat shifts your direction Sunday morning as the system moves east along the Gulf Coast. Now let's talk about the southeast, because you're going to see the back end of this system Sunday through Monday with rain and potential storms moving through. Atlanta at 61 degrees with just 10% chance right now, but that increases Sunday as the system approaches, so keep watching the forecast through the weekend. Nashville at 60 degrees with 35% chance. Memphis at 67 degrees with 40% chance. You're both in that transition zone where storms could fire up late Saturday into Sunday. Birmingham at 64 degrees with 25% chance. Mobile at 68 degrees with 15% chance. The Gulf Coast moisture is going to be fueling these storms as they push east. Charlotte at 60 degrees. Raleigh at 59 degrees, both with just 10% chance. You'll see the rain Sunday night into Monday as the system exits. Now here's a pro tip for the Florida folks if you're headed to Disney or Universal on Sunday. Bring a rain jacket because afternoon storms could pop up quickly. Orlando at 78 degrees and mostly clear for Valentine's Day itself. Tampa at 76 degrees and sunny. Jacksonville at 72 degrees. Florida is looking beautiful for Saturday. Miami at 74 degrees with just 15% chance. You're in the best weather zone in the country right now. Enjoy those beach dates and sunset dinners. Now let's shift to the northeast, because while the south deals with storms, you're enjoying a much quieter weather pattern this Valentine's Day weekend. New York City at 46 degrees with just 5% chance. Partly cloudy and much calmer than what you went through in January with those back-to-back winter storms. Boston at 37 degrees with 10% chance and mostly cloudy. Philadelphia at 49 degrees with 20% chance. The Northeast is getting a well-deserved break this weekend. And listen, after the brutal January you all went through with 12 states declaring emergencies and over 100 deaths, you deserve this quiet stretch. Enjoy it. Washington, D.C. at 57 degrees and clear skies. Baltimore at 52 degrees and clear. The Mid-Atlantic is looking great for Valentine's Day outdoor plans if you bundle up. Buffalo at 34 degrees with 10% chance. Syracuse at 33 degrees with light snow showers possible. Upstate New York is still dealing with winter, but nothing major. Pittsburgh at 50 degrees with 10% chance. Cleveland at 42 degrees. Detroit at 42 degrees. The Great Lakes region is quiet but chilly for your Valentine's plans. Now let's talk about the Midwest, because you're in that sweet spot between the warmth to the south and the cold to the north. And it's actually pretty nice out there. Chicago at 42 degrees with just 10% chance. Clear skies and relatively mild for mid-February. A great day for that Valentine's dinner downtown. Minneapolis at 51 degrees and clear. And folks, that's 20 degrees above normal. The warmth is spreading north, and it honestly feels like early April up there right now. Milwaukee at 46 degrees with 10% chance. Madison at 50 degrees with 10% chance. Wisconsin is enjoying this warm stretch before cold returns later next week. Indianapolis at 53 degrees with 10% chance. Columbus at 52 degrees with 10% chance. The Ohio Valley is quiet and mild. Perfect weather for getting out and about. Des Moines at 59 degrees with 10% chance. Omaha at 59 degrees with 10% chance. The Plains are loving this early taste of spring weather. And here's the wild contrast that blows my mind every time. Minneapolis at 51 degrees, while Fairbanks, Alaska sits at minus 13.5. That's a 65-degree spread right there. Now let me give you the warmth outlook, because if you're a spring weather fan, oh boy, do we have something in store for you over the next week. Your lows tomorrow morning are going to be in the 50s as far north as Kansas, into the 60s for southern Oklahoma, and near 70 degrees for southern Texas. That's right, 70 degrees for a low temperature in mid-February. That's basically summer morning weather, and it's fueling all this storm energy. By Sunday, the 70-degree high temperature line pushes up into Nebraska, with 60s reaching into South Dakota, Iowa, and southern Minnesota. By Tuesday, I think we're looking at one of our warmest days with mid-80s in North Texas and near 80 in Oklahoma City. We could be shattering some records. But here's the thing you need to remember. This is a false spring. Do not fall for it. Do not put your winter coats away, because winter is not done with us yet. Now let's cover the West Coast, because this is where the second storm system comes in. And if you're a skier or snowboarder, you're absolutely going to love this forecast. We've got 8 to 10 feet of snow coming to the Sierra Nevada and Cascades over the next 10 days, with the Rockies seeing several feet as well. The mountains in Idaho, western Wyoming, Montana, Utah, and western Colorado are all going to see significant snowfall. And this is going to help with the drought. And the wind aspect is no joke out there. We're looking at gusts of 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour as these strong storms move across the mountain topography. Seattle at 46 degrees with light rain. Portland at 47 degrees and cloudy. The Pacific Northwest is seeing the front edge of this western system right now. San Francisco at 55 degrees with 20% chance. Sacramento at 58 degrees with 15% chance. California is getting a break before the main snow event hits the mountains next week. Los Angeles at 66 degrees and clear. San Diego at 64 degrees and clear. Southern California is enjoying beautiful Valentine's Day weather. Denver at 55 degrees and cloudy but dry. Colorado Springs at 52 degrees with 5% chance. You're getting ready for the snow that's coming midweek to the high country. Salt Lake City at 50 degrees with 10% chance. Boise at 53 degrees with 25% chance. The Mountain West is transitioning into snow mode for next week. Phoenix at 72 degrees and clear. Las Vegas at 68 degrees and clear. Tucson at 72 degrees and sunny. The desert Southwest is absolutely gorgeous right now. Now let's talk Alaska and Hawaii, because these are two completely different weather worlds, and the contrast is pretty incredible. Fairbanks at minus 13.5 degrees, that's 13.5 degrees below zero, folks, with 45% chance of snow and extreme cold conditions. Bundle up if you're up there. Anchorage at 26 degrees with 35% chance of snow. Juneau at 35 degrees with snow showers at 50% chance. Alaska is locked in deep winter mode. Meanwhile, Honolulu at 75 degrees and partly cloudy. Maui at 78 degrees and beautiful. If you're looking for the perfect Valentine's getaway weather, Hawaii wins hands down. Now let me give you the second storm outlook real quick, because by Monday, February 16th, another strong low makes its way onshore of the West Coast. This one will push through the Midwest and into the eastern U.S. around the 18th to 22nd time frame, bringing more active weather to close out February. The clash of warm air in the east and cold air diving from Canada means dynamic storm systems are on the way, and we could see more severe weather on the warm side. And here's my prediction. We're going to see another widespread impactful storm before February ends. Mark my words and hold me to it. All right, let me give you the 5 key takeaways from today's forecast. These are the things you absolutely need to keep on your radar this weekend. First, Valentine's Day severe weather with a slight risk from Houston to New Orleans, 50 to 60 miles per hour winds, quarter-size hail, and isolated tornadoes possible overnight Saturday. Second, 8 to 10 feet of snow coming to the Sierra Nevada and Cascades over the next 10 days, with 50 to 70 miles per hour wind gusts in the high country. Third, 2 to 3 inches of rain across Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana with flash flooding possible. Avoid those low-lying roads and underpasses. Fourth, Record warmth spreading into the central U.S. with 80s in Texas by Tuesday and 70-degree lows in southern Texas tomorrow morning. This is fuel for severe weather. Fifth, second storm system arrives Monday, bringing more snow to the western mountains and transitioning into active weather for the Midwest and East later next week. Now here's what I need you to do. If you've got elderly parents or neighbors in the severe weather or flood zones, pick up the phone and check on them today. Remember Mrs. Patricia in Houston. She's 67 years old and she's already prepared. Moved her important stuff upstairs. Charged her flashlights. That's exactly what you should be doing. We've lost over 100 people from winter storms this season, and 12 states declared emergencies in January. A 2-minute phone call right now could save a lot of worry this weekend. For anyone with Valentine's Day travel plans, today is your best window for the southern routes. Tomorrow gets stormy from Texas to Louisiana starting in the afternoon. If you're in Houston, Dallas, Oklahoma City, or anywhere in the slight risk zone, make sure your weather alerts are on all night Saturday into Sunday morning. Now here's what I'm watching most closely. That overnight severe weather window Saturday into Sunday across southeast Texas and Louisiana has me genuinely concerned. The helicity tracks show the atmosphere will be rotating, and when you combine that with the instability from all this warmth, conditions favor spin-up tornadoes overnight. The intensity levels go up as you head south because there's more moisture and instability to work with. San Antonio, Houston, and central Louisiana are the areas I'm watching closest. The midnight models will tell us if that tornado threat strengthens and if the helicity tracks intensify like I think they will. Sunday morning could be dangerous across the Gulf Coast. I'll have that update out first thing tomorrow with the latest data. Drop your city in the comments. Stay safe out there, folks, and I'll see you then.